Tom Homan goes after AOC after protests erupt in Washington. Plus, there's a Delta plane crash in Toronto. Hurry up.
Talking about AOC over the weekend. Do you believe she is breaking the law?
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
I'll leave that up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how they evade law enforcement.
A sitting congresswoman is out in the streets coaching people on how to break the law. Can someone make this make sense to me? And also, how does she have her job still?
You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. What she in fact doing is telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country illegally, committed a crime. They're a public safety threat. They've been convicted of serious crime.
Can someone explain how this is remotely acceptable and normal?
And they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress.
Tom Homan just dropped the hammer on AOC.
Let us enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
No, I think I've asked DOJ, where's that line of impediment, of interference? Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on it, that's impediment. But,
where is the line?
But what line is telling people to hide from ICE?
It appears she is literally turning into Dora the Explorer for illegal immigrants.
Not open the door. Where do you cross that line on impediment? So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
You have talked to them about this. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. We'll see where that goes. Tom Homan, I'm out of time.
AOC's been caught giving illegal immigrants a step-by-step guide on how to dodge ICE, and on camera. Tom Homan just sounded the alarm, and guess who's freaking out? The media. This is about to get insane. Please, like this video right now, and subscribe if you're done with the nonsense and buffoonery. And tap that bell before the algorithm mysteriously pushes our feed 15 scrolls down. Now let's break it down.
Talked to some Arizona voters who switched from voting for Joe Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024, and so far, they mostly like what they see.
I just think he's trying to get America back on track as quickly as possible, given the state that it was left in from the previous administration.
It feels more merit and transparency that I'm getting from the administration so far.
I approve of a lot of the stuff that he's doing with the border and everything.
He's put other countries on notice that were to be taken seriously.
For the most part, I feel like he's on the right track by keeping transgenders out of women's sports. That's number one.
All 11 Biden-Trump voters say they approve of Donald Trump's first weeks in office.
And then boom, we've got protests, we've got a whole musical, and this ain't Broadway, folks.
Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back.
And on cue, here comes the brain disconnects and the dump truck juice.
In his first term, his incompetence cost 400,000 American lives.
It's time to take a deep breath and open the history book, baby.
It's appropriate that the only person in history to be responsible for more American deaths than Donald Trump is his idol, Adolf Hitler.
He's tasked with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Elon Musk. A federal judge has just declined to issue an order halting Elon Musk and DOGE from accessing federal data and slashing personnel.
Elon Musk just shook up the establishment.
Attorneys general from 14 states are attempting to stop Musk and DOGE from accessing data in 7 federal agencies and from firing or putting on leave employees in those agencies. U.S. District Court Judge Chutkan just refused to issue a ruling from the bench. So at that point, she has not halted Musk and DOGE from continuing their actions inside the 7 agencies. at issue here. Just real quickly, because of your legal background, your quick thinking.
All right. Two of the Supreme Court justices have subtly indicated that they would like to strike down the prevailing rule. It's not statutory. Those two being Thomas and Kavanaugh, in dicta in other decisions. They'd like to get rid of this rule that a single district court judge someplace in the country can issue a ruling that holds for the entire country. It's not what the founding fathers expected here, and it's been gamed. And, you know, the right can do it, too, so the left shouldn't be too quick to oppose that.
All right, so the headline here is presidential historian says President's Day is ridiculous. We should scrap it? What do you mean?
It is a little bit silly. I mean, we have had some real duds, so I'm not sure we really want to be celebrating all presidents.
We've officially left reality.
Are you crazy? Just plain stupid.
And the tradition actually comes from celebrating birthdays, which is a celebration that we inherited from celebrating the king. And I'm just not sure that that's exactly what we want. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we necessarily want to celebrate the people. I think that we want to have a certain respect for the office. I totally get that. And some have done extraordinary things, but by celebrating all of them, I do think it causes us to think of the president as somehow other, when in reality they are a citizen just like everyone else.
What are the plans to do so if those records are obtained?
Well, as we know, there's a massive amount of fraud in this country. You have, for example, foreign fraud rings. These are foreign nationals who come into the United States. They use fake Social Security numbers. They use fake identities to steal billions in taxpayer benefits.
What you talking about?
There's no way to know until DOJ gains full access exactly how much money we're talking about. But over a 10-year normal budget window, you could be talking about saving over $1 trillion by clamping down on massive fraud in our tax and entitlement systems, including, again, those carried out by organized fraud and theft rings. A very important point in all this is to understand that DOJ are subordinate staffers of the federal government. They are political appointees, just like me, just like everyone else in the White House, that serve and answer to the president. So we're not talking about an outside private entity. We're talking about the existing federal staff of the federal government performing their statutory and constitutional duty.
Can you give assurances to people who faithfully pay their taxes in this country? The DOJ isn't just going to go randomly sifting through the records and maybe come across the personal private records of a lot of Americans.
And the worst part is they know they're losing.
I can give absolute 100% insurance. I give you complete and total assurance on that point. We are talking about performing a basic anti-fraud review to ensure that people are not engaging in large-scale theft of federal taxpayer benefits. I mean, for example, we pay billions of dollars a year in child tax credit payments to illegal aliens. Billions with a B. So these are systematic, programmatic reforms that we're talking about here. And as far as protecting the secrecy of tax records, the IRS has been weaponized at the career level against the American people for years now. This has been one of the most invasive arms of the federal government, engaging in capricious and politically based audits, leaking taxpayer information for political reasons. We are restoring the neutrality. We are restoring ethics. We are restoring security controls at IRS. In fact, one of the big projects that DOJ is going to be working on is upgrading IT systems and software so that our taxpayer information cannot be stolen by criminals or foreign governments.
Well, listen, I just did a chat with my Substack subscribers on Sunday. The furor and just the anger that the base is feeling towards our leaders because they felt abandoned. They feel abandoned. They feel like nobody's out there standing up for their values right now. And these are people who are progressive Democrats, but they're also people who are moderate Democrats. This is across the board. This is not a matter of ideology. It is a matter of whether we have people in charge who are fighters or people in charge who are cowering. Donald Trump did not get a mandate.
Excuses, they are tools of incompetence, and theirs are pretty much done. In 2025, isn't shaping up to look any better for the party.
He did not have a mandate. He barely won the popular vote in one of the closest elections in history. So for us to be treating him like he's some sort of immovable object is absurd. Go out there and fight. That is what the party needs from its chairman. That's what it needs from its leaders on the Hill right now.
And next up, we've got a bizarre one. Again, a Delta plane crash lands in Toronto, and somehow this is Donald Trump's fault. Okay.
Delta plane crashing and flipping upside down at the airport in Toronto. Reuters reporting that it was a flight from Minneapolis and that all passengers and crew are accounted for.
That's not a landing, that's a survival mission.
The scene says that 8 people are injured. Look at this plane. It is literally upside down. There is no word on how this happened. You can see there's a lot of snow on the ground in Toronto. It happened moments ago. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn has been gathering the latest information here. Hi, Eric.
Hello, Martha. It is a dramatic and shocking sight when you look at that airplane. It is a Delta flight that took off from Minneapolis MSP Airport earlier today and landed about 2:13 or so in Toronto Pearson International Airport when it suddenly flipped over on its back, ending belly up. Thankfully, as we have said, that there were no deaths. There are 8 injuries reported. Officials and paramedics on the scene say of those injuries, 1 person is in critical condition. The rest are mild to moderate injuries.
I did want to, underscore, to pick up on the conversation you were just having, though, in terms of the recent string of aviation incidents, Tom. This is going to yet again raise the concern about FAA staffing, air traffic control staffing. Now, this is a Canadian air traffic control tower, and this is under Canadian authority once it crosses the border. And yet, as you know, there has been this talk about maybe staff cuts at the FAA as a part of President Trump's effort to trim down the federal workforce.
Wait, stop. So you're telling me Donald Trump is in control of Canadian air traffic now? What's next? He's in control of the Northern Lights, too?
And yet, as you also know, the FAA has been complaining for years that they are understaffed in critical job positions, especially air traffic control. I was having a conversation with somebody today about whether air traffic control in America is being affected by the staff cuts. So far, not to their knowledge, and yet other positions related to maintaining critical equipment appear to have been cut. So this is going to feed into all of these recent incidents, and the safety of the total air traffic system is going to be very much a part of the conversation as we go forward, at least on this side of the country, of the border, I should say.
That's it for today. If this video fired you up, please smash that like button and drop a 100 in the comments section if you think AOC should be investigated. Or drop that clown face in the comment section if you think this is just another political circus. And if you've made it this far, write exposed in the comment section so I know who the real ones are. And tap that bell before the algorithm mysteriously pushes our feed 15 scrolls down. And one last thing, please share this video with 3 different people who need to see this. God bless.
Listen.